What is up, guys? I'm just noticing now my workbench is basically like a graveyard for those cubbies on the Legacies. But that's not what the video is about today. We are working on the fuel system for the Legacy GT, and you're probably thinking like, what do you mean you're working on the fuel system? So, let me do some explaining. Behind me, if you guys have been following, I have a parts cart. It's a Legacy GT. It was blown up when I bought it. The reason why I bought it is it came with a bunch of extra parts. One of the things that this car came with was an AEM fuel pump. Now that being said, anyone can say that there's a fuel pump. You have no idea until you pull it open. And sure enough, I pulled it open. That's an AEM pump right there. So that is a 340 LPH pump. It's the same one that is in my 2018 STI. It's kind of cool. They're going to be twinning. It's good for ethanol and all that good stuff, but this car will likely never see it just because we don't have an easy way of getting ethanol. In the future, if for some reason Canada gets it, I'll happily redo my fuel lines and get this thing running on ethanol. It'd be pretty sweet. Obviously, I do the STI first, but you know, it's probably never going to happen. So, what is going on in this video? We are going to install this fuel hanger in the Legacy GT. I could go through and I could show you guys, you know, the whole like disassembly of this and what you got to do, yada yada yada. That honestly, in my opinion, is kind of a waste of time for me. You know, not necessarily to show you guys it's a waste of time, but it's a waste of time for me because it's already done. So all I got to do is go over to my car, pull the fuel hanger out, and just really swap it. Obviously, before I throw it in, I am going to give it a cleaning. I did slightly clean it up. There's just some gunk buildup there. So before I throw it in, I just want to give it a cleaning. If you guys really want to know how to install this, I'm imagining it's pretty similar to the STI. It's a little different, I think. But first glance, it looks pretty similar. So what I will do is I will link down my video where I installed the fuel pump in my STI. And you guys are welcome to watch that if you want. If not, not a problem. If you don't like my video, there's plenty on YouTube as well, so you can watch that too. Right now, installing this is not really a rush. Like, I'm not ready to do anything to the car to where I need a bigger fuel pump. But because I have this car in my garage, there's nothing sealing up the gas tanks. So my garage just reeks of gas, which I don't mind. I like the smell of gas. I'm not gonna lie. Don't do this at home, kids. Honestly, opening this up, all you need is like a Phillips and an 8mm and a vacuum to clean up some dirt if there is any. But honestly, this should be a pretty quick install. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I do it all the time when I'm working with fuel, is I pull that 15 amp fuse right there. If you didn't know, for Subarus, that is your fuel pump. So now, if I start the engine, it will die. So it might take a second. She's dead. And I just like doing that a couple of times. She's pretty well dead. The reason I like to do that is just because you just don't want to deal with fuel pressure. When there's fuel pressure in the lines, you're gonna get fuel over yourself. It's not a good time. So just do that quick. It takes like a couple seconds and it just saves you a mess, really. Luckily, removing these seats are pretty easy. You kind of just yeet on them and they come out. Just kind of grab here and yeet right out. And a yeet. Nope. There we go. In the Legacy GT, it's located behind the passenger. Obviously, if you own American, if you own a Japanese, it's going to be where the driver is. 4 Phillips to take the cover off, and we'll be in. You'll see the hanger. Luckily, this is pretty easy to do. And this should just peel up. There, like that. Ooh. So you can see, a critter's been living in here. I don't know if I just recorded that part. But yeah, there's a ton of gas leaked out. Just disconnected the connectors there. Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried of these 8mm coming off. They're a little brown. Look at that. Let's see how the rest do. remarkably, I got these all off. They're pretty sketchy. I'm shocked I got them all off. None of the studs broke. These right here are from the parts car. They're not the greatest, but they're a little better, so I'll be using these. I don't think I got enough, so I might have to use like 1 or 2 of those. Next time I go to Subaru, I'll definitely order some new ones of these and just swap them out. Just peace of mind kind of thing, and probably throw some anti-seize on the studs when I put it back together, just so I don't gotta worry. But that's good to come out now. Let's see if we can take this out without making a complete mess. Okay, how about we open this up and see what's in there? I don't think it's an AEM. I honestly can't really tell. Let's see. She's a factory. Starting to get like, I don't know, a little wooey from all these fumes. So let's just give this a quick rinse. As you can see, there's some scum in there. There's a lot in there. Honestly, I'm gonna say it's pretty good. At the end of the day, the tank's gonna end up getting crap in it eventually. Like, it is what it is. You're never guaranteed clean fuel, hence why you got a fuel filter on there. So I think we'll be all right. Clean up my greasy fingers. Whenever you're removing the fuel hangers, there's always this little like floater here. It basically tells you your fuel level. That's what sends the signal to your cluster, so you know how much fuel you got. Be pretty delicate with these, just because you can damage these fairly easily. We are ready to rock. Load her back up. Also clean this seal here. This is from the parts car, clean it up. I don't know about you guys, but I personally find it easier taking them out and putting them back in. But we'll put the little floaty thing in first. And this is where it fights me. There it goes. We're almost in. We're in, boys. We're in. Okay, let me get some anti-seize. I really want to anti-seize these. I don't want them to get worse than what they are. Funny thing is my grandfather absolutely hates anti-seize. And if you ask him why, he'll tell you it's because it's messy. Now, I agree. It can be messy. Personally, I'd rather do it, so the next time I come back, I can actually, you know, take the bolt or nut off. That's why I like it. There we go. And that. I'll just clean this up a bit so we don't got fresh fuel all in the car. And then we'll put the 15 amp fuse back in. We'll pretty well be done. All right, moment of truth. I hear the fuel pump. So I'll just cycle it a couple times, build up some pressure, but we should be good. I think it's returning now. Oh man, that's so sick. This is literally bringing me back to the days when I did the STI. All right, let's give her a crank, see what she does. Perfect. That's great news, because now when we decide to throw the VF52 in, which is hopefully coming within the next month or so, I'm really hoping. I'm talking to a tuner right now just to find out everything I need to get. So fuel should not be our issue, so we should be able to make some decent power. I'm not really expecting anything crazy out of this car. I've heard people making around 300 wheel, which I think is a little high in my honest opinion. The STI is making 300, so I don't know how this would make 300. And people were saying they were doing that with stock fueling, stock injectors, which I don't know about that. I don't know. Honestly, if I could make 280 wheel, I'd be cool with that. I think that would be a lot more than this car really needs, in my honest opinion. I'd be stoked with that. That's it for the video, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead, throw the seat in. It's really not too hard to do. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Take it easy.